Hello guys, welcome to Online Web Tutor presented by Professionals team. I am Sanjay. We are learning WordPress wp-cli tutorials for beginners. This is our part number 17. Inside this video session guys, we will start about manage user roles. Inside this, we will see about list as well as create command. If I back to terminal, let's open up all about admin panel. So wp admin. By pressing this command, it will open all about the admin dashboard. So before discussing about user roles inside WordPress, as we know that there are several default user roles we have provided by WordPress. How can we find about default user roles? Go to users, click on add new, and while clicking add new, we can see that here we have a drop down. Inside this drop-down we have called subscriber, contributor, author, editor as well as administrator. Now let's say that in some cases we want to create our own custom role like student, staff and so on. So how can we manage these user roles? So either we can create via code or by means of creating by this CLI command. So inside this video, first of all, type wp help, and if I type roles here or before that simply wp help, pressing enter, now inside this list we have a role here. This is all about manage user roles, including creating new roles as well as resetting to defaults. If I press Ctrl C to get out of this panel and type wp help, let's say user, pressing enter. So inside this wp user, as we can see that this is synopsis as well as we have to pass wp user and here we need to specify sub command. So here are the list of sub commands. So inside this we have called list as well as create. So inside this video we are going to first discuss about list, which is used to list all the user roles what we have inside database. And I think that actually we have typed the wrong command. This is not about managing user roles. It will be something wp help role, pressing enter. Now inside this is all about our managing user roles. The last command that we have typed is all about for the users. So inside we have synopsis called wp rule, and here we to provide the sub command. Inside this sub command we have called create, delete, access, list and reset. So inside this video we will discuss about list as well as create command. So list command is basically used to list all the user roles what we have provided inside our database. Now create command is used to create a new user role. So again, if I press Ctrl C and let's say wp help rule and let's say list command, pressing enter. Now here we can see that we have a synopsis, like we have some fields we want. So by default, if we go to its available fields, so by default when we type the command called wp role list, it will going to provide like name and role and no other optional parameters we have. So if I cancel out, press Ctrl C, let's say wp role list, pressing enter. Now inside this, as we can see that inside our WordPress, these are the roles, means we can say that these are the default roles WordPress provides, like administrator, editor, author, contributor and subscriber. These are those roles which we will, means let's say that which we assign to any user when we create inside WordPress. So simply if we type the command called wp user, let's say list, and inside this as we can see that here 3 different users we have inside our database, and here like administrator, author and author. This is all about the available roles for these users. Now let's say that we have, again if I type the command called wp help role list, so as we can see here we have a format flag. Inside this format we have the available option called table, csv, json, count and YAML. So by default when we type the command called wp role list, it lists all the data in tabular format. So let's say that in some cases, if we want inside this JSON format, what we have to do, wp role, let's say list, and we want something format equal to JSON. Pressing enter, and this is the JSON format, means array of objects we have for this roles list. So this is all about listing user roles of WordPress. Now let's say that we have a plugin. Inside that plugin we are managing all about staff as well as students. Now what we want that when we create any user, let's say a student, we want to specify a custom role to that user, something student user role. So how can we create our custom role? So simply let's say wp help list role, and if I type the command called create, pressing enter, so here inside this command we have short description like creates a new role. This is synopsis, let's say wp role create means these are the keywords we need to use, and here we have to provide called role key as well as role name. If we want to learn or let's say read about all these available parameters, here we have options. Go to its examples. So here we have a command, let's say wp role create approver, and this is all about role name. The first we have role key, and this is all about role name. So if I press Ctrl C, again type the command called wp role list, pressing enter, this is all about role key, and this is all about our role name. Here is a slight difference between these two. The first is, let's say that it is following all about uppercase, lowercase, but inside this section it is always in lowercase because these are the parameters, let's say these are the data which has been saved inside our database. Now we are ready to create our first custom role. So let's say wp role create. Now next we need to provide our key. So let's say that we want to create something student, and the role name we want something student. Pressing enter. Now successfully we have created our student custom user role. If we press wp role list, pressing enter, now inside this list as we can see that here we have a custom user role. In the same way, if we want to create for the staff, let's say wp role create, let's say that we have some staff section. This is role name staff, pressing enter, role has been created. Again go to role list, and here we have another user role. Back to admin panel, reload this page. Now inside this drop down as we can see that here we have a staff as well as student, so we can create our own user inside this WordPress with a different user role, and this is the user role what we have created via CLI command. So inside this video session guys, we had discussed all about our manage user roles. Inside this we had seen all about list as well as create command. So inside this video session guys, if you went out, then please drop your comment. I will give my reply as soon as possible. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.